First day of camp in the books. Anthony Richardson versus, Daniel Jones, trying to figure out who the starting quarterback for the Colts will be in 2025. I got to tell you the truth. It was defense ahead of the offense, but we're going to start talking to the offensive players and those two quarterbacks. First up, Anthony Richardson. Both guys spent a lot of time signing some autographs after the workout. So if you wanted an autograph from Anthony or from Daniel, today was a good day to get them. But here is Anthony Richardson.
Practicing.
Feels good, man. When they told me I couldn't throw for a few weeks, definitely hit me hard because we were just getting in the groove, just getting started. I felt like I was making progress, getting ready to work with the team. But just being out here day one, it's always exciting, knocking off the rust and just being out there having fun with the guys.
What was that like to deal with? I mean, were you nervous or worried about just the fact that it's another shoulder issue? Were you confident that it would just get over it with some rest?
Now I was confident. They told me I had to sit down a few weeks, and I was like, man, I could go right now. So I just had to listen to the team. Just take the advice from the medical team, take the advice from my trainer, and just prepare myself for this upcoming season and just be ready for training camp.
How have your conversations with Shane been, and what do you need to do to be the starter and the quarterback on this team?
I think it's the same every year. Prepare. Make sure I'm at the best of my possible self. For this team. The same thing goes back to my rookie year when I was competing with Gardner for the starting job. Just learning the offense, mastering the offense, and just being available for the team. I think that's the main thing. Conversation with Shane hasn't really changed much. He told us that Daniel not going to compete. He let us know every day it's a competition, so we both got to work and compete for that job. And whoever wins, it wins.
When you got the shoulder soreness last month, were you surprised by that? Had you had any experience like that prior to that?
No, I wasn't necessarily surprised. Had the surgery like a year and a half ago, so I've been dealing with on and off soreness with that, but I thought it was just from the volume of throwing, my arm just trying to get used to it, but it was something else, and I wasn't necessarily worried about it. I was like, okay, that's just another bump in the road, just make sure I'm doing what I could do just to help the team in any way. So in the meeting rooms, I was trying to master the offense even more. Riley was asking me questions, trying to help him out a little bit, so just being around and just helping the team any way possible, even though I couldn't be on the field, I could do other things, lead a certain way and just be present.
It's kind of normal to have, soreness after the fact like that, or what did they tell you?
I don't know. I just feel like it's with anything. You constantly do something, all the time. Just like a shooter playing basketball, constantly putting up jump shots. Your shoulder's gonna be a little sore from all that work. So I just thought it was just, just type of, account thing. But it wasn't that. But I'm ready now, and I'm ready to go.
What was the rehab process like for you when you're away from the team? What things did you do to kind of get yourself ready for camp?
The best thing for it was honestly just rest. Surprisingly. To say that it was really just rest, let my arm just rest and recover. And whenever we did start throwing, it was just back like normal schedule. It wasn't anything major, anything different. Just rest my arm and just get back going.
You did the work this offseason, just throwing work. Was there like certain parts of your game you were trying to focus on, like certain routes or certain distances, or like how did you go about figuring out kind of what to tweak?
When it came to throwing again, I wasn't necessarily worried about pushing the ball down the field because I'm pretty sure everybody knows I can do that. The biggest thing for me was just, the intermediate short routes, being able to complete those whenever I can. Because I feel like that'll help our offense, progress, and that'll help us move the ball more. So I was really working on that, working on my footwork, trying to make sure I'm calm and I'm just ready to deliver the ball wherever it needs to be. So that's really the main thing right there.
Obviously, you guys, Daniel has more experience than you. What have you learned from him since he's come here?
Man, he's always working. He's a smart guy. He's always asking questions. So I try to do the same thing. I try to get insight on anything that'll help me to get better, anything that'll help the team get better. Really smart guy, man. So I just try to gain some mental toughness from him and just constantly just work.
How can going against Lou Anarumo's defense make you better in training camp?
I actually love it, especially during OTAs. They were throwing out different looks, and I was actually kind of excited for that because it makes me process things a little bit differently, and it helps me get more answers whenever things aren't going the best way for our offense. And it just gives me a chance to just find ways to move the ball and complete passes. So I'm definitely excited to keep working against those guys and definitely learning their defense a little bit more.
How do you keep a level head throughout the QB battle? And obviously, you want something so bad, right? So what's the balance of, okay, I want this end goal, but I can't probably get it tomorrow after music?
Honestly, it's just loving the process. These past 2 years, I definitely, try to embrace that a little bit more. Everybody wants success, like right here, right now, but I feel like sometimes when you get success, it's not really all what it seems. The process is really the best thing, and that's really what I'm trying to enjoy now. And also when it comes to competition, of course I'm competing with Daniel, but I'm also competing with myself. Trying to be the better version of myself than I was last year. There were definitely things I could have worked on last year, so I'm trying to improve on that and make sure I'm just available for the team whenever they need me.
Anthony, body-wise, did you change your weight at all this offseason?
Man, surprisingly, I actually lost weight. I wasn't trying, but it just happened. So now I'm like 240 now, moving a little faster, feeling a little lean, and hopefully I can keep it like that and stay healthy.
Is that conditioning? I know you said you weren't trying to, but you got help conditioning-wise at all? Or?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like just me, putting in the work to be conditioned. I feel like that'll take care of itself. But I feel like I'm back to my college way. I feel like I can move around a little bit more. And it's also just just other things like sleep schedule, eating right, hydrating, and just taking care of myself and just being a pro.
Would you just to hear the crowd cheer you? What does that mean to you?
It's exciting, because I know this city loves and supports me. I just got to do my part, make sure I can do everything in my power to be the quarterback that they want me to be and need me to be. So it definitely feels good, but I can't let it get to my head. I still got a lot of work to do, and I still got to get that job. So, I definitely appreciate it, but work not done.
With the time you missed this spring, how important was it just for you to get out there to California with the guys?
No, it was definitely good. We definitely had some fun times out there. Fishing. The guys were putting in work. It was definitely exciting. I didn't get to be out there and throw with them, but just being around the guys, and just spending time with them, just helps us build that chemistry a little bit more. So whenever we are on the field, it's easier for us to communicate and just make things happen. So it was definitely a good time, and I appreciate my guys for inviting me out there.
That's Anthony Richardson. Now you get to hear from Daniel Jones.
I think like any day one, you're getting started, some good, some bad. I think operationally, in and out of the huddle, guys know where to go. I thought that was, pretty sharp. But yeah, always things to clean up that we'll look at the tape, and then improve on it. But I thought for day one, we did a lot of things that you look for on day one, but certainly some areas to clean up for sure.
The offense had that time together out in California that Pittman was talking about yesterday. What did that do for you, just in terms of getting to know guys and spending time with them within your team?
Yeah, I think I thought that was valuable time for us. The time on the field is important, but probably even more so, hanging out off the field, going to dinner, playing golf, whatever we were doing was valuable time to get to know each other and build some chemistry. So
how does that off the field chemistry translate to what you guys are doing in the team and what you guys do in some things?
I think just like the better you get to know people and form relationships, the better you can communicate. Off the field, on the field, when you're game planning, when you're watching film, I think just the better those relationships are, the easier those conversations are, the better the communication is with anything you do.
So all the pass catchers just extra friendly to you because you're the quarterback? Is that how that works?
What's that?
Is that all the pass catchers just extra friendly with you? Is that how that works to make sure you get the ball when it comes practice time?
Yeah, some are. Some play that strategy. There's other strategies too that are played, but I think just trying to get to know everyone and build a relationship.
Daniel, with all the attention, the day-to-day attention of who did what in this, how do you sort of focus on today and not get caught up in the grand scheme?
I think I think just trying to stay busy with what you're doing kind of at the moment in that, whether it's that meeting or that practice, that walkthrough, kind of trying to get fully into that. And there's so much work to do, so much, especially for me, learning the system, getting to know the guys, learning, communication with coaches. I think there's plenty to kind of stay busy with and focus on that. So I think, as best I can, just doing that, staying focused on what I'm doing at the moment, and then stacking days. I think that's the mindset everyone tries to take during training camp. It's a long process. There's a lot of work ahead of us, but kind of the best way to go about it is focusing on that day, that practice or meeting or whatever you're in right at that moment.
Shane said that he sat down with you and AR and talked to you all about the plan going forward with the quarterback competition. How much did you just appreciate the fact that he's up front about that to start off camp?
Yeah, I certainly appreciate it. He's been up front, since the spring, since we all got back here, and I think that's as a player, you always appreciate coach being upfront and transparent with you and communicating.
Daniel, in your mind, what do you have to do to earn that starting job?
I think just performing at a high level, showing consistency, my preparation, consistency on the field and my performance, and I think like I said, it's a long process, and focusing on kind of what I'm doing day to day, I think is the best way to go about it. So that's what I'm focusing on.
Daniel, is there one guy in particular on this offense that sort of is taking you under their wing just to get you situated with the personnel and how this offense operates?
I don't know if I can say there's one guy. I think, I think it's my job, as the new guy, to come in and to learn the players, build relationships, learn the system, kind of seek out the help and advice of others. So I've tried to do that as best I can. There's several guys who have been here for multiple years and know how it works. So just trying to get to know those guys, ask the right questions.
Daniel, you've had various groups of skilled guys that you played with over the years, but what can this group of receivers and even Tyler be collectively, do you think?
Yeah, I think it's an extremely talented skill group. I think when you look across the board, obviously JT's been a top player in the league for a long time and has shown what he can do. And then throughout the receiver room, I think you got guys who have different skill sets, who all bring something different, can attack the defense different ways, and I think that's really valuable to have the variety there. And then in the tight end room, a number of guys who can make a lot of plays. So I think it's a strong group of skill guys.
You take the first snaps and you run your 5 or 6 plays, and then AR goes in, and the crowd gets buzzy. Do you hear how they get a little excited when he goes in there or not? Or are you too busy?
No, I think you hear it. You're out here, but it's all good. We it's fun having the fans out here. It brings some energy to practice, and what a great setup up here at Grant Park, and impressive thing they built here. So it's fun to be here, and definitely appreciate the fans showing up.
What sort of challenge does facing Lou Anarumo's defense bring to this competition between you and Anthony?
Yeah, he's a great defensive coordinator. I think one of the things that separates him is just I think the amount of coverages he can play from similar looks, and there's a little twist to a lot of the coverages. They're maybe not the traditional way you've seen other teams play a similar coverage. So just learning that and try to learn as well as you could in the spring, and then obviously there'll be a lot of work on it this camp as we go against each other. So he's a great defensive coordinator. I've had a lot of respect for him for years.
What kind of a challenge is it to go up against a quarterback like Travarius Ward?
Yeah, he's a good player. Played against him in the past, and it was good to go against him here today. But he's a strong player, and it'll be good for us. It'll be good for the quarterbacks, good for the receivers, and great competition.
Since this spring, you haven't really shied away from pushing the ball downfield. Is that something you've been more intentional about this offseason?
I don't think I've ever tried to shy away from pushing the ball down the field. I think we try to take advantage of the opportunities when they're there, and when the play and coverage dictate it, then take the shot and try to throw an accurate ball. So I think it's something I've always tried to do.
Can you explain that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you explain the Kenny Moore pick? What was happening that play?
Just a bad decision. Laid out there, can't afford to do it.
There's Daniel Jones. Both these guys, I think it's really interesting. This is the third straight year in a 3-year career that Anthony Richardson has had a different guy kind of challenge him during training camp. And I got to tell you the truth. What he tries to do with these guys is pick their brains and learn from them at a really high level. And I think that sense of collaboration is really cool. What they want in the end, sure, they want that job, but they also want the Colts to win. And winning requires that those two guys collaborate at a high level at the same time they compete. And that sort of works. I got to tell you that in this first day of workouts, Mooney Ward looked really, really good. And so did Bynum. And so did the offense didn't look so good, tell you the truth. nobody on the offense looked really good. But the defense, ahead of the offense, that's not unusual in training camp.